Okay, you guys, so I've been in bed for about 30 minutes, but I just can't go to sleep because I keep thinking about new video ideas. And I watched some YouTube videos today on how to improve your channel, increase your following, etc., etc. Basically, how to succeed on YouTube. And I am super excited about some of the things that I learned. Like this video. If you haven't subscribed, go down below, click subscribe, and click the little bell so that you can get notifications every time I post a new video. If you're already subscribed, chances are you did not click the notifications, so go down below, click the little bell so you can get notified whenever I post new videos. Okay, so something that I've really been thinking about is my uploading schedule. So being that I am a stay-at-home mom, you might think my schedule is not super busy or whatever. However, if you think that, you would be wrong. So far, I have been able to upload on the same day. It's just at different times, which I know is not ideal, and I really apologize for that. But with my husband working out of town, I don't really know like what times of the day I'm gonna have available. So instead, I'm just going to say every Sunday and every Thursday I will have a video uploaded by 6 p.m. Central Standard Time. And that is just honestly the best I can do right now. Okay, so since I can't sleep, I decided I may as well go ahead and film my marriage advice and tips. So first of all, I just want to say I am in no way a pro at this. So my first tip, number one, is going to be to listen to your partner. Now I know you're probably like, whatever, my wife tells me that I need to listen to her, my husband tells me I need to listen to him all the time. But seriously guys, like just listen. Don't listen to what they're saying just so that you can respond. Don't listen to respond. Listen, acknowledge what they've said, think about what they've said, and then think of a response. Because if you're just listening to respond, then you're not actually taking in everything that your partner is saying. All you're doing is you're making your partner feel like their emotions, their thoughts are invalid, and invalidating your partner is just one of the easiest ways to create a border between you, and that's the last thing that you want to do. So listen to your partner, like really listen. Don't just listen to respond. Okay, so I did not even realize how ridiculous my hair looked. Awkward. Number two is going to be always say you're sorry and mean it. When you and your spouse have a disagreement, it's gonna happen. It's inevitable. Always apologize. I'm not saying, oh, just say you're sorry so they'll forgive you, because that's not how that works at all. You have to say you're sorry and you have to mean it. And I'm telling you, like, this is one of the hardest things. My husband and I have struggled with this, like, since we started our relationship. Like, well, that sounds bad. Not since we started our relationship, but like since the early stages of our relationship. When you have a disagreement with your partner, it's really easy to use that as something to just, oh, well, I'm just gonna be angry at them because we had a disagreement. When in reality, you just need to listen to your partner, think about where they're coming from, and then in the end, always apologize for the things that you said or did to hurt your partner. Because if you're giving them an empty apology, just an I'm sorry, just so that you think that it'll make them feel better, I'm telling you it won't. You don't want your relationship to be based on you falsifying your apologies. You know what I mean? Like, you need to be sincere with it. You need to really be sorry, and you need to think about how you made them feel and how it would make you feel if they did that to you. And that will really help you find a sincere apology. Another thing that you need to be sure you say, even when you're mad, to your spouse is, I love you. Because it is very easy when we get mad to say things we don't mean. Just in the moment, you're just angry and all these things rush into your head and you just choose not to use your filter. And all these things come out of your mouth and you don't mean them, but you can't take them back. While you should apologize for it, you should also let your partner know, hey, I love you. Like, I didn't mean what I said. I'm sorry, and I love you. I don't care how mad you are. When you get off the phone with your spouse, before you hang up, the last words you need to say are, I love you. You don't ever want there to be any doubt about how you feel. When I was growing up, we never got off the phone with any family member without saying I love you. And I was taught to do so because you never know what's going to happen. You never know when the last time you're going to speak to someone you love is. And you want them to know exactly how you feel about them. You want them to know, hey, I love you. Like, you mean a lot to me. I really value our relationship and I value you as a person. Especially with your spouse, you want them to know those things. You want them to know, hey, I'm upset with you, or hey, I'm super angry with you right now, but I still love you. I don't care if you woke up in a bad mood and you and your spouse are already at it that morning and they go to leave for work. You do not let your spouse leave without saying I love you. And if for some reason you do, you call them and you tell them, hey, I just wanted you to know I love you. I'm not saying you have to make up on the phone right then, because that's not always like practical in the moment or in that specific time, but you always want your spouse to know that you love them. Number 4 is trust. You need to trust your partner 110%. You can't have a relationship without trust. You have to trust your partner. Trust them with everything. Trust them with your heart. Trust them with your feelings. As far as like, you need to be able to talk to that person. You need to trust that they're going to back you up 110%. When y'all have a disagreement, you need to trust that y'all will be able to get through it. You need to be able to trust your partner, because if you can't trust your partner, then what are you doing? Okay, number 5 is a big one, especially for me and my husband. You have to appreciate your spouse and everything that they do for you and for your family. My husband is working out of town right now to support our family so that I can be home with Mateo and we don't have to put him in daycare. I cannot tell you guys how much I appreciate him making that sacrifice. He also knows that it's a sacrifice for me to stay here and not be with him. And that's just, we both had to make sacrifices and we appreciate each other for that. He appreciates the fact that I was willing to quit my job and make Mateo my full-time job. It's not easy. A lot of people think, oh, you're a stay-at-home mom, so you just hang out at the house every day. No. Being a stay-at-home mom is just like having a full-time job. We both try really hard to never like underestimate the other. We have both definitely like crossed lines with that, where I'm like, oh, well, you just don't understand because you're not here. You don't have to, you know, take care of Mateo all day, every day. He's been like, but you're not in another state all by yourself. Like, he doesn't have any family over there. He had to make friends over there. Not to mention the fact that he doesn't get to see me or Mateo. He hasn't seen us in like about a month now. And that's gonna be so hard for him. I cannot even imagine, because Mateo's at that age where he's like learning new things and he's having to miss out on all that. And this is my last tip. This is tip number 6. I know that this is gonna step on some toes, so I apologize in advance, but you need to hear it, so I'm not really that sorry. You need to defend your spouse in public and disagree with them in private. I cannot tell you how tired I am of seeing couples argue on social media. Seriously, let's be adults. If you are gonna have a disagreement with your spouse, you need to do that in private. That just needs to be between the two of you. You defend your spouse in public. Like, George is my husband, and I will defend him till the day I die. And if he is wrong, that is something that he and I will discuss in private. And he will tell me that I am wrong. in private. Now that I've gotten that off my chest, I'm gonna try to go to sleep because I have to be up super early in the morning. Also, another thing, I realized in the video where I introduced my family, I called my husband Jorge, which that is how you pronounce his name. But then in all my other videos, I refer to him as George. Like, I met him as George and I've always called him George. So, I guess in my video where I introduced my family, I should have just called him George, but